Good evening and welcome to Channel 8 Sports and East Brunswick High School football. Hi, I'm John Meggiolaro with Phil Hill for tonight's East Brunswick Woodbridge game. And Phil, talk about a big game here at Woodbridge. It's got to be that for the Barons.
It is a big game for the Barons. I talked to Coach Mike Salento earlier. He said he didn't have to say a whole lot to the team. They know what's at stake. Last year they went 5-2-1. He felt they could have been 7-2, and they should have been in the playoffs last year. This year they came out of the blocks, won 5 consecutive games, and then lost 2. So he feels that his team knows what's at stake, and they're ready.
Phil, we don't want to minimize East Brunswick coming in. They're 4-3, and boy, what a win streak they've been on.
I'll tell you, you got to be really pleased if you're an East Brunswick fan. We had written them off. They were 0-3, and we were talking about starting sophomores and things of that sort. The fact of the matter is Marcus Borden has done a great job this year, getting the kids back into believing themselves. They've played hard. They've been in most of the games that they played in. Played North Brunswick last week. I had a chance to see that. And defensively, they were very tough. They allowed one big play, but that was about it. But they've been gutty. Gutty is the term that you want to say for these players. And they just shown something, John. They really have.
Phil, if you're Marcus Borden, one thing you got to keep your eye on one person, and that is Joe Kirk, the quarterback.
Joe Kirk, the quarterback. I have a feeling, though, that Mike Salento may help Marcus. I saw this Woodbridge team play Cerebral, and I thought that Joe Kirk wasn't used enough. They used him in the last series to try to pull out the game, and of course they had that unfortunate fumble that caused them to lose the game. But Joe Kirk is a big-time weapon. I don't think they use him enough. I think what Mike Salento is going to do tonight is try to utilize that oversized line that he has and shove the ball down the Bears' throat.
All right, now on offense for East Brunswick, continue what's been going for you?
I'll tell you, East Brunswick, the thing about offense, we haven't given the offensive line enough credit. Guys like Krichkowski and a number of players have been playing super. Jim Varick has been getting most of the ink, but the offensive line has been doing a super job. I had a chance to watch some practice this week. They got a screenplay that goes to Phillips. They practice the hook and ladder. They're having some fun right now, so they're going to pull out all the stops to try to upset Woodbridge.
Phil, we're at Briscoe Stadium. You and I are standing right on the field. And as usual, the grass is high and it's muddy.
It's muddy once again. I talked to Mike, and Mike says, well, we had a big storm last night. And, of course, it did rain last night. I'm surprised it's muddy as it is. Of course, we're talking about Mudgate several years ago when the sprinklers were left on. And we don't really want to bring that up, but the field is awfully muddy. Surprisingly so, I think speed-wise, Woodbridge has just as much with Edmonds and Whitner as the Bears do, so I don't suspect any foul play, so to speak.
Well, it should be a good one. East Brunswick on the road tonight against Woodbridge. They come in 4-3. Woodbridge is at 5-2. Good game on tap, and we'll be back with the kickoff after this timeout. Well, we welcome you to tonight's game, East Brunswick Woodbridge, here at Woodbridge High School on a rather brisk fall evening.
A brisk evening, and I have a feeling it's going to get cooler, John. As we take a look out there, I believe Woodbridge has won the toss.
They have. They'll receive. Varick will kick it off for the Bears. Woodbridge in the dark or black uniforms. East Brunswick in the visiting white jerseys, green pants. And Phil, we can't underscore the value of this game to both programs, quite honestly.
Well, to both programs. Marcus Borden would like nothing better than to beat Mike Salento today. There are some coaches that like to beat certain teams, and some coaches like to beat certain coaches. And Salento is one for Marcus.
This is a rivalry that's been going on. Here we go. Varick will put a foot to it. Short kick. It'll be fielded by the Woodbridge player, and that was Schneider, number 40.
And Schneider not being too smart. The ball appeared to be heading out of bounds, John, and if so, they would have forced him to kick it over or at least been able to take the ball on the 35.
As we've mentioned in the past here at Briscoe Stadium, the field is not marked with yard markers, so we'll do our best to try to identify where the ball is placed. It looks to be at the 27-yard line of Woodbridge, and that's where they'll have it, 1st and 10. They come out in that I formation. Kirk is the quarterback. Whitner on the carry. He'll pick up a couple, bring up second down.
I'll tell you, not surprising. They spread two receivers right and then came back and ran it right up the middle there. Not surprising. Woodbridge likes to run that ball on the ground there. And a fine tackle made by Lenny May.
All right, it'll bring up 2nd and 8. Ball just shy of the Woodbridge 30.
It appears to be that they lost some yardage, John, according to the markers over there.
They've adjusted them. So it'll be 8 yards in that I formation. This is Edmonds. And Edmonds finds it tough going in the middle of that East Brunswick defense.
Once again, the East Brunswick defense has come on. As I said, against North Brunswick, they did a fine job shutting down North Brunswick. Allowed one big play, but that was about it. And this is the different team. Winning does strange things, John. This is a team that believes in themselves. They're outmanned on the front line there, but they're playing on hearts and guts right now.
3rd and about 4. The ball sitting at the Woodbridge 32-yard line. Kirk has 2 receivers to the right. He has a short drop, gets it outside to Whitner. He's got some room. And Whitner has the first down as he's close to midfield.
And Whitner showing fine hands there. Just took the ball in the flat there and picked up that all-important first down there. Joe Kirk being rather smooth back there, rather calm and cool, just laid it out there for him.
Phil, that's a play, if you recall, last year really killed East Brunswick, that little swing pass out to the back.
That's right. Mr. Kablakowicz, as you might remember, Jason, I believe Kablakowicz did it very well, and Joe Kirk's picked up right from there.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Barons. The ball at the Woodbridge 47-yard line. Big hole on the right side for Edmonds. And he picks up good yardage.
And I'll tell you, Edmonds is the workhorse there, John. Just a strong young man. Saw him play against Cerevel, and they picked up good yardage. As I said, the Barons are a rather conservative team. They've always been a running team. Even when they had Kablakowicz, they like to put the ball on the ground a lot. I think they need more balance myself. They have a good passer. I think they need to mix it up a little bit more if they're going to be truly effective.
2nd and 2, the ball at the East Brunswick 45. Woodbridge on the move. Ball appears to be on the ground. No, Kirk found a handle and picks up 5 yards. It looked like he fumbled it, Phil.
He did drop it for a while there. And Kolheim coming up and with a vicious hit, but not before the first down was picked up.
He does get the first down, so the drive stays alive. Ball spotted at the East Brunswick 41-yard line. And so far, everything's gone Woodbridge's way. Opening minutes of the game, no score. We're at Briscoe Stadium here in Woodbridge. Woodbridge comes in 5-2, East Brunswick 4-3. They stay in that I formation. Kirk gives it to Edmonds. And Edmonds is a horse to bring down.
He is very tough. Good hard-nosed runner. Keeps the legs churning. Kirk appeared to do an audible at the line there. They were tight in a running formation. Must have saw something and changed the play.
Edmonds picks up 6. We'll call it 2nd and 4. The ball just shy of the East Brunswick 35-yard line.
And, John, don't look for the Barons to do much different. As I said at the top of the game, they're going to try to ram it down the Bears' throat. They have the size on the offensive line. They have good hard running backs. This game's important to them. They don't want to make any mistakes by playing too loosely with the ball. So they're going to play ball control and try to just push it on down the field.
Barons put a man wide left. They stay in that I formation. Kirk this time gives it to Whitner. Whitner stays on his feet and has the first down for Woodbridge inside the 30-yard line.
I'll tell you, good hard running. Ing, Phillips, and Zismansky in on the tackle, but once again, the Barons pick up that all-important first down. Ball control, playing smart, running inside the tackles.
First and 10 for the Barons. They took this ball on their own 25 and have moved it consistently down the field, only throwing one pass in the process. They spread it out a little bit now with 2 receivers to the left. Kirk's going to put it in the air, fakes, looking downfield. He's got a man and drop.
Wow.
Pass was intended to Caffiero, and he dropped it.
Caffiero, you won't see that happen too often. Caffiero is the main receiver for this Barron team. A young man with good hands, and the guy Kirk usually depends on. As you pointed out, John, however, the ball was right there. He just dropped it. He might have been shielded somewhat by Kohlheim, however.
It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Only second pass attempted by Woodbridge. Kirk had a nice touch on that ball.
Very nice touch. Rather relaxed, flicked his wrist, and just put it out there. Let's see if he comes to this left side now.
All right, they come with a spread backfield this time. 2 receivers to the left. 2nd and 10. Kirk's going to put it up again. Little out to Whitner. He's got the sideline. It's a foot race now, and he's knocked out of bounds by Kohlheim at the 5-yard line.
And just flooded that area through underneath coverage there, and as you saw, Whitner picked up good yardage. Greg Kohlheim's not there. He scores.
It's going to be 1st and goal for the Barons from the 5-yard line. They have controlled the ball since they took the opening kickoff.
And no secret here. They spread him wide, but you can expect Mr. Edmonds to bully his way in here.
Edmonds is the up back, number 41, right behind Kirk. And it's Whitner with the ball. Whitner, he'll get maybe a yard.
And Lucarelli coming up to make the tackle along with Bruce Ing.
2nd and goal. Clock showing 7:10 remaining first quarter. No score, but the Barons are at the 4-yard line of East Brunswick. And we should mention Jim Allender isn't with us tonight. He's covering the Saraville Edison game, I believe.
Big game for both teams. Both teams need to win in order to make the States.
And a big game here for Woodbridge. They're in the same situation. Here's Edmonds, nowhere to go. And now a 3rd down call. Will be facing Mike Salento.
And Zismansky, I believe, right up there once again. Ken Molina in the area as well.
Ball spotted at the East Brunswick 3, 3rd and goal. Put it up in the air, Phil, or you go wide with it?
No way. They've been doing well just plowing it through there. I expect them to do the same thing. Mike Salento is blood and guts type of fella and believes that if you have the heart, you can punch it through.
All right, Edmonds is the sole running back. Whitner is at a tight end position. Kirk looking. He's going to put it up in the corner and overthrows his man.
I tell you, really surprising play here, particularly for that type of pass, John. That ball traveled a long distance there. I mean, if you want to do something right there, then you want a quick hitter. To throw a ball out like that, very surprising.
Intended for Steven, number 27. And as Phil mentioned, a long way to go for 2 yards.
Really?
And so it'll bring up 4th down, and a timeout is called by Woodbridge.
Okay, and let's give the Bears some credit for coverage there because the Woodbridge defender was covered very well. I guess the Salento thinking about the element of surprise there, but it didn't surprise anyone. And I suppose they're going to go for the 3.
Their field goal kicker is Scarpa?
I believe so.
Number 10. And Phil, this is shaping up to be one of those typical East Brunswick Woodbridge games, and I say that because if I recall from last year, it seemed like every time Woodbridge was down close and had to go for a field goal, there was a timeout called.
Well, last year, you remember, we thought there would be a field goal, and of course, Salento came up with a very big play, and you don't usually call timeouts for field goals.
So are you saying that maybe he's playing a little mind game here with East Brunswick?
Maybe he's coming back with something here. He knows how important this is to get something on the board and get out in front.
Well, let's look at it the other way.
The field goal kicker's coming back off the field,
Scarpa
John.
comes out. I was going to say, with Varick sitting on the other sideline,
right.
Field goals can be matched.
Well, the thing is, the field is somewhat muddy, as we pointed out as well, so footing's very important if you're going to attempt a field goal.
Well, here we go. 4th down and about 3 yards for a touchdown for Woodbridge. They come out with that I formation. Kirk looking for a man on the outside. He's got him.
Wow.
And it's a touchdown. Halliday, number 20, with the reception. Phil, I didn't think he was in.
He was in, John. Just a sidearm pass by Kirk, and hit him right on the numbers there. Had an East Brunswick defender there, but it's just a perfect pass. Not your traditional pass, the overhand pass from the side. Threw it like he had to throw it, and Holloway made the catch.
Now Scarpa will come out and try to add the 7th point as Woodbridge gets on the board first tonight. Kick is up, and it's good. And that was actually kicked by, well, we don't have a number 19, but we don't have a name for that individual. So it's 7-0.
Okay, that's Paul Perry who kicked that extra point there. John, number 17 in our program, number 19 out there on the field. And give Mike Salento called that timeout, called the play. It, quite frankly, again, threw a long distance for 2 yards, but Kirk had it right on the money. Kid has a nice, strong arm, and they're making use of it.
Well, East Brunswick will need to respond as they'll go on offense for the first time in this game with 5:50 remaining first quarter, so an excellent drive by Woodbridge. So far, Phil, the field looks to be holding up. I haven't seen any players slip.
Nobody's slipping and sliding there, so it's in the grassy spots, it seems to be holding up very well.
Edmonds kicks it off. And East Brunswick will take it from their own 15-yard line.
Wow.
Ball is loose. And they're saying Woodbridge has it.
I'll tell you, he was nailed. Shanafees doesn't know where he is right now, wandering off the field, John. I didn't see who nailed him, but he was nailed, and no one could expect to hold on to that ball.
So a big turnover for the Barons. They'll have the ball in excellent field position at the East Brunswick 30-yard line. And you can't fault the young man for letting go that time,
He
Phil.
was racked. That's the only way to put it. He was racked.
Woodbridge comes out with a one-back set. Kirk will put it up in the air. He's not going to waste any time. He's got a man. And just out of the reach of Stevens again, and a flag, a late flag.
A little extracurricular activity there. I think between Ken Molina and a player for the Barons, and we'll see who it goes against.
Salento wasn't going to waste any time, Phil.
Personal foul against the Bears. Little extracurricular activity after the play was over, an official standing right there.
Well, it's usually the second one that they throw the flag on.
That's for sure. I think there was some pushing. Molina was trying to get up. He was shoved a little bit, shoved back, and got caught.
Big penalty against East Brunswick gives Woodbridge the ball and a first down.
And you're right, John. Salento's opening up a little bit. I had said at the top of the game that I thought that the times that I've seen the Barons that they've been too conservative. Clearly, he's opening things up here, not afraid to.
Ball is at the East Brunswick 16. And East Brunswick has yet to run an offensive series or a play with 5:14 remaining in this first quarter. Bears are trailing 7-0. From the eye, Woodbridge will go on offense. Edmonds churning, and he'll pick up about 3.
A hard play. Good hard running by Edmonds. Kept those legs moving. 3 tacklers on him before he was brought down.
Second down, let's call it 2nd and 7. Ball spotted at the 14-yard line.
And this is what you call real ball control. 4:40 left, and the Bears haven't had an offensive chance to have an offensive play.
Split backfield this time. Kirk gives it to Edmonds. Edmonds got the hole, he's got the outside, and he's close to the 5-yard line.
And some good blocking by that Barron front line there on that left side there. Edmonds picking up good yardage.
They're going to say Edmonds went down on the 4. So it's 1st and goal once again for the Barons. Woodbridge, 1st down. Edmonds, and he may even lose a yard or 2. I'm sorry, picked up a few. Again, the angle we're at, and without any markers on the field, it looks as though they're spotting the ball at about the 2-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 2. Clock running, we're down to 3:40 remaining first quarter. Puts a lot of pressure on East Brunswick defense, Phil.
It does, then they spread them out so they can run between those tackles there. Ooh,
Whitner.
I'll tell you, good hit.
He's close, but he's short of the goal. Bring up 3rd, and I would say less than a foot.
And Ken Molina coming up first with the initial hit. Phillips giving some help there. Denying the Woodbridge ball carrier. And the Barons don't appear to miss Maurice Barton,
no.
the big runner that they had last year. They got 2 fine runners that have certainly filled in well for them.
Here we go, 3rd and about a foot for the score. Edmonds on his feet, he's denied.
And once again, the Bear defense.
And now we're back to a 4th down.
And Paul Dumas coming up off the bottom of the pile there.
And as Yogi once said, it's deja vu again.
Okay.
We've got 4th and about, Edmonds actually lost the yard, so we'll say it's 4th and 2.
And the Barons use their 2nd timeout.
And here we go, they call timeout again.
And I think probably the last 3 times that we've seen the Barons call a timeout, they've scored on. If you go back to last year.
You're right.
Mike Salenta walks out there and they come up with a big play. Of course, they're in excellent scoring position anyway, but.
Well, this would be a big lift for the East Brunswick defense if they could hold them here. They have yet to run an offensive play with 2:25 remaining in the quarter. And if they hold them here, while they might not have good field position, they will at least have the ball back.
And I'm going to let you be the quarterback here. I'll let you be the coach here. What are the chances that they'll come up with that pass again?
I think slim to none, Phil. I think you got Edmonds is running the ball well now. He seems to be on track. The offensive line is warmed up.
You got to run it through.
You got to give the big boy the ball.
And there's a challenge too. You've been stopped trying to get in.
That's right.
Trying to pick up some tough yardage down there, and it's like you don't want to make them believe you chased us out of it. But
well, they'll come out with that eye. Edmonds and Whitner in the backfield. And this is Whitner, and he goes in easily. 13-0 is our score now. Woodbridge on top. Perry will come out for the extra point. And Phil, over the past several years, East Brunswick hasn't had much luck here at this stadium.
Not much luck here, but they've beaten up on Woodbridge their share of the time. I got to believe the record's about even now, since well, not quite even. Salento's been here 5 years, and I think in the 5-year.
Perry's kick, a line drive goes through, and it's 14-0 Woodbridge.
I don't know for sure, but I believe it's something like 3-2 maybe. But I'll tell you, if you're the Bears right now, and it's you're down 14 points, you haven't had a chance to run it and an offensive play, 2 minutes and 21 seconds left in the first quarter. What you got to do is just suck it up and try to get something going. Try to get something going and sustain a drive of yourself. You don't want to come in, do 3 and out, and give the ball back to the Barons, because Clearly the ball control offense, and they're using the muscle to do what they want.
Well, you need that ball control offense, obviously, for a score, but more importantly, to keep that defense or give them some breathing time on the side.
Exactly.
They've been out there almost 10 minutes now.
Good point, John. Marcus may even be tempted to, if things are moving too quickly, to call a timeout to give them a breather. They've been out there.
And many of these young men are going both ways as well.
Exactly.
Well, East Brunswick puts Colheim back deep, Shanaffy, Varick, and Phillips, the 3 up men. Edmonds will kick it off. East Brunswick trailing 14-0. Edmonds, good kick. It'll be Shanaffy again from the 22-yard line. On his feet, still on his feet as he crosses the 35.
And I'll tell you, I give that young man a lot of credit. After that first hit, you see that ball coming to you. You're not sure if you want to catch it. Someone else should get it. But he put his nose down and ran it hard in there and picked up good yardage. Good field position for the Bears.
Well, Habib will bring him out on offense for the first time tonight. 2:08 remaining, first quarter, Bears trailing 14-0. Ball spotted at the East Brunswick 36. That's where they'll have it, 1st and 10. Phillips and Varick in the backfield. A little pass out to the outside to McNeil, I believe.
Way over his head there. Habib not planting his feet, not taking his time, and just threw it out there.
Hopefully you got to think he's cold. He's been standing on the sidelines for a long time.
They gotta pick up something here. They don't want to turn it right back over. They got to at least pick up a first down here, John.
2nd and 10. Clock running. Inside a minute and 40 now. This is Phillips.
Okay.
Phillips fights his way up to the 40.
And good hard running by Eric Phillips there.
So it'll bring up 2nd and about 6.
Okay.
3rd rather and 6.
3rd and 6, a big play here. You want to keep control of that ball. The Barons will be coming. The question is, will the Bears use that screen play that they've been practicing? I mentioned I saw them practicing the screen to Phillips. Will they pull it out right here?
Well, they got 2 receivers to the left. Habib keeps, rolls to his right. A little toss looking for Varick and over his head.
Wow. I'll tell you, I haven't seen Habib that off in a while. Again, John, it's a quick 3 and they're out.
Yeah. What they didn't want to do happened, and so it brings up 4th down. And the ball will go back to Woodbridge. That's assuming that Varick punts. He is in punt formation. Kirk and Stevens go back for Woodbridge. Varick picks it up off the ground, low kick. And Woodbridge will let it roll. And the ball will come to rest at the Woodbridge 21-yard line, and that's where they'll have it with 56 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
And John, these Barons are tough guys. They've beat up on some awfully good people. Let me run down some scores for you. Against Madison Central, they beat them up 21-7. Against Edison, 28-0. Beat Perth Amboy 28-7 before losing to Searleville 14-7 in a great game. And then a surprising loss to J.P. Stevens 21-19. Came back to beat Piscataway 7-6. And then beat Colonial last week 35-0.
All right, Kirk brings him out, 1st and 10. And Edmonds,
wow,
he just rolled over one.
That ball was loose.
They're going to say he's down.
Okay.
The ball did come out, but he picks up the 1st down.
And I'll tell you, good hard running by Edmonds, just blew in there. And I believe that was Varick coming from the backside to make the hit.
Varick was the only one left, quite honestly.
They caused the fumble, but they say it was caused by the ground.
15 seconds remaining before the end of the quarter. 14-0 is our score. Woodbridge on top. They have a 1st and 10, just shy of their own 40-yard line. Kirk Gonna put it up, sets, looks down the middle. He's got a man. It's Stevens, right off his hands.
That's what you call short on them. We got a penalty here, a little sort of a late flag here, and right in the area where Colheim was, and number 11.
It's holding against East Brunswick. And Phil, that could have blew this game wide open.
Really. Anthony Ciafaro and Greg Colheim is playing him man-to-man. Marcus said Ciafaro's their Woodbridge's best receiver, and they would put Colheim on him. Apparently he had some extra, I don't know if it was extracurricular activity or...
He was holding him. He grabbed the shirt. He got by him, and Colheim had no choice. But right off the fingers of Stevens, or this would have been at least 20-0.
The player short-armed it clearly in the open air and just brought his arms in a little too soon.
With the penalty, it gives Woodbridge a first down, and it brings the ball into East Brunswick territory. It's at the East Brunswick 46. First and 10 Woodbridge, and that'll be it. That's the end of the first quarter. And I don't know if anyone realizes that on the field.
Apparently they don't. Interesting.
They're going to run the play. Clock shows no time. As Edmonds breaks to the right side and is tripped up after picking up about 7 yards. And that should end the first quarter.
And that's Bruce Ingen on that touchdown saving tackle there.
And the officials finally recognize it's the end of the first quarter. And we'll switch sides of the field with the Bears trailing 14-0. And you see the East Brunswick team huddled up across the field, and defensive coach Spadafino.
I'll tell you, it's sort of tough. Like I said, the Barons are rather physical. The defense has been out on the field an awfully long time. Nick is just telling them to play hard. They got to create something. He's hoping that defense can create something, a turnover, so the offense can get back out on the field. Otherwise, once again, the Barons are just controlling that ball. And if they go up 21-0 here in this first half, it's going to be awfully tough for the Bears to come back.
Well, we'll get ready to start the second quarter here at Briscoe Stadium. Woodbridge having it pretty much their way. They lead 14-0, but offensively, they've just controlled the ball. East Brunswick's only had 3 offensive plays.
Well, Woodbridge is playing like a playoff team right now. And they belong in the States. They really do.
And we don't want to steal anything from our partner Jimmy Allender getting into the PowerPoints, but obviously they work on the quality of the team you're playing and the group, the size of the school, the group, if you will.
Exactly.
So it's a critical game, not only from Woodbridge's standpoint relative to a win, but also the PowerPoints from playing a Group 4 school.
Right.
Here we go. It'll be second and about, let's call it a long 3. And Whitner, he's got the first down as he drops the ball, but they're going to say his forward progress was stopped right at the 35-yard line.
And they're just blowing through there right now, John. Very difficult for this Bear defense to sort of regroup. Relentless pressure by the Barons.
They'll bring the chains across to measure to see if, in fact, he got the first down.
And you hear the guys a little cheer for the chain gang. You don't hear chain gangs getting cheered too often.
Well, it's first down for Woodbridge, and that seems to be the way it's going tonight. And the clock will start up. Woodbridge will have it first and 10 right at the East Brunswick 35. Receiver wide left, I formation. Edmonds right up the middle. He'll pick up 2 before he's wrestled down by the East Brunswick defense.
And you got Zmansky and Gerbervac. And Lenny May.
Let's call it 2nd and 8. Ball at the East Brunswick 34.
And here's a good spot for a play action pass right here, John.
Everyone's in tight. One back in the backfield, that's Edmonds. And Kirk is just going to drop back. Plants, looks down.
A little pushing off.
Push there and a flag.
Offensive interference, it's got to be,
yeah,
John.
it's not going to go this time. Halliday
pushing off. It's against the Barons, it's got to be. No doubt about it.
It'll be offensive interference, and that's the call against Woodbridge.
And an excellent call by the official, right on top of it.
Boy, I'm impressed by the quick snap of the wrist of Joe Kirk.
I'll tell you, you just wonder where the young fella came from. All we knew for years was Kopalakowicz, and Salento comes up with just a fine quarterback. Matter of fact, probably the best passing quarterback that we've seen this year.
You're right.
Haven't seen the young fellow from Cedarville, McKelney, but and he's a fine passer. But I think clearly this guy has the best arm that we've seen.
Well, the penalty brings the ball to the East Brunswick 49, and a big play there. That's going to hurt him because it brings up 3rd and about 25 for the Barons. They lead 14-0. They got 3 receivers to the left. Kirk looks left. Ball is knocked down by Phillips.
I'll tell you, great penetration there. And just the way you're taught in practice, come in there with your arms up.
So East Brunswick's defense hangs on, and the ball will go back over to the offense.
I'll tell you, and you got to give the Bears a lot of credit there. They got a little help on that offensive interference, but they played tough on the series.
They should have it back as Dave Habib, number 9, goes back with his brother, Emil.
Habib and Habib.
Can't go wrong in calling this one. Kirk is the punter. He gets a nice high kick. Emil drops it, but falls on top of it. The ball's still loose.
The ball's down.
They're going to say he's down.
Had to be down, and he's a little upset with himself there, but
good kick by Kirk, and Habib dropped it, but they'll say the ball was down.
Okay, and they're trying to settle down the quarterback there.
So the Bears will have it 1st and 10. They have 10:31 remaining before halftime. Plenty of time. They trail 14-0.
And you want to get something here, John. The Barons have dominated this first half, but if the Bears can get on the board, anything can happen.
Here they go from their own 19. Varick the lone setback. It's Varick on a sweep right. Needs some blocking. And I think the ball's loose. East Brunswick fell on top. I feel that ball's jumping out of there.
The ball's jumping out there a whole lot, John, and most of the time it's been going the Barons' way. This time the Bears get a break. But you're right, John, they got to pick up something. They got to go north and south.
So they'll pick up 2. We'll call it 2nd and 8. Ball just over the 20-yard line. Habib will put it up in the air. He's looking, being pressured. Still on his feet. Now he'll be dropped.
And again, just relentless pressure by that Baron defensive line.
Long play and developing.
Well, they had 2 receivers, had McNeil and Kohlheim going deep there, and with the type of pressure that's being put on by the Barons, I think they're going to have to come up with something a little shorter and hope one of the players can break something.
It'll bring up 3rd down. They lost about a yard, so we'll call it 3rd and 9. Ball sitting right on the 20-yard line. Varick goes in motion. Habib looks. Little screen out to Varick on the left side. Varick be taken out of bounds, and he could be close to the 1st down. Good job by Jim Varick.
I'll tell you, nice job. I don't think he picked it up, John. They're going to be with Varick no matter where he goes. Varick has been the main cog for this Bear team, and so you can better believe they have at least them double team just about anywhere he goes.
Well, he's short, and Marcus Borden has elected to punt it away. And Phil, do you know if East Brunswick has a fake punt in their playbook?
Necessity enables you to have a lot of things, John, but I don't think they're going to use it right here.
Yeah, just curious. We have not seen anything like that this year. Good snap to Varick. Gets the line drive kick off. Off Kirk's hand, and he falls on top of it, and that'll be it. But Woodbridge will retain possession with 8 minutes left, second quarter. And Edmonds came very close to blocking that punt.
Okay, once again, the Bear defense is put to the test.
Well, they've been out there a lot this first half.
Out there an awful lot, and very important that they don't allow another score this half.
1st and 10 for the Barons on their own 37-yard line. Edmonds with the ball inside. Slip coming out of his stance. So Kirk had to wait for him on a little option there.
And I tell you, just up front there, those tackles, Scott Hulak, number 79, is doing a yeoman's job up front there. They're running right behind him.
Edmonds picks up 3. We'll call it 2nd and 7. Ball sitting right on the Woodbridge 40. They lead 14-0. A little counter tray. Here's Whitner. And he's got the first down.
Wow. On that play, Varick just sort of took himself out of the play, rushed in there, and they ran inside him. And Whitner picked up good yard.
It's the old Washington Redskins patented counter tray. They got everyone moving to the right, and the counter's back to the left. That's a first down, and puts Woodbridge at their own 49-yard line. 6:40 remaining, second quarter. They have a 2-touchdown lead. Kirk drops back. He's got some time. Now he's being pressured. Barrett drops him.
Okay. Nice job of coverage by the defenders back there. And as you pointed out, the pressure being put it on, Varick gets credit for the sack.
Big loss for Woodbridge. Ball is spotted at the 37-yard line. So a loss of 14. It'll be 2nd and 24. Clock still moving. East Brunswick making the adjustments now on defense. Whitner looked like he had some room, but it was closed.
Closed up very, very quickly. And Paul Dumas, one of the super softs, coming up to make the play there. Dumas and Koheim, both sophomores who have distinguished themselves this year, John.
Third down for Woodbridge. East Brunswick playing tough now, defense, and they need to do it. They're down by 14. They've been out there a long time. Third and about 20. We'll see if Kirk puts it up in the air. He's got 3 receivers to his right. And he'll do that. Steps up, looks downfield, puts it up. He's looking for Stevens. Great defensive play there.
I can't believe they're going to call.
They're going to call
some bumping there, but there's bumping going both ways. It'd be interesting to see what the call is here.
Kirk looking for Halliday, and a flag is thrown on a great play by Eng.
And they're calling it against the Bears, John. I'll tell you, there was some bumping, no doubt about it. Both players going back for the ball.
So East Brunswick, very unfortunate penalty. Good play, I thought, by Eng, Phil.
Okay, just a 10-yard penalty.
But it's a first down. It keeps that drive alive, as that was a 3rd and 14 play there. And the ball is moved into East Brunswick territory, sitting at the East Brunswick 46. Whitner picks up 3.
And Lenny May once again leading the tackle along with Dumas.
Second and about 9.
They'll say Whitner picks up 2, so we'll call it 2nd and 8.
37 goes in.
Ball at the East Brunswick 44-yard line. Clock is down to 4:20 as we near the half here at Briscoe Stadium. Bears trailing 14-0. Kirk looks out to his left and overthrows Halliday. I'm sorry, that was Steven. So it'll bring up 3rd and 8. Outside of that penalty, Phil, East Brunswick's defense has played well this series.
They've sort of picked up. They've done a better job against the pass defense than they have against the run.
Third and 8. They got 3 receivers to the right. Edmonds behind Kirk. And it's Edmonds with the ball. And that fooled no one.
Nice job by the defense there. Awfully nice job.
Good defensive set by East Brunswick.
I'll tell you. And again, Lenny May.
And Phil, East Brunswick's only going to touch the ball for the 3rd time tonight.
But they got to get something, John. They got to get something.
They need something before the half.
Really.
Even a field goal at this point.
Definitely so.
Kirk will do the punting. The Habib brothers are back once again. And they're going to let it go.
Ooh.
And that ball is going to sit down at about the 12-yard line. So poor field position for East Brunswick with 3:19 remaining.
And we have
Flag down. Procedural call against Woodbridge.
All right, still they'll have to punt again. It's still not enough to pick up the 1st down, John.
Well, it was against Woodbridge, so they'll just move him back. But hopefully East Brunswick will come out with better field position.
And hopefully they won't make the same mistake. They sort of let that ball go, John. The rule is if it's inside the 10 over your head, then
let it go.
Let it go. But that bounced in front of you on a muddy field.
You got to
pick it up and try to get something.
So we'll do it again as they pace off 5 against Woodbridge. Kirk will go back. Gets it off. And once again, East Brunswick will let it come to rest.
I'll tell you. Szymanski doing some additional blocking there. Had to be careful that the ball didn't come back and bounce off him.
It was close. All right, so East Brunswick will have it. 1st and 10, 3 minutes remaining before halftime.
And let's see, will the Bears go to the bag of tricks right here to try to come up with something?
Why not? The ball sitting at their own 20. Ball is dropped.
Ooh, mercy.
And I believe Habib picked it up. Philly East Brunswick just can't get out of the blocks on offense. Loss of about a yard. Let's call it 2nd and 11 now. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Salento starts using, well, he only has 1 timeout left, so it really doesn't matter. And another drop this time. Habib, I don't know if he got it back.
And the Barons have it. The Barons appear to have it. Yes, they do.
Yeah, they're calling it Woodbridge's ball. And if you're Marcus Borden, you got to be sick at this point.
And if you're Marcus Borden, you might start believing in triskaidekaphobia, which is fear of Friday the 13th, because nothing seems to be going their way right now. I'll tell you. And we have a Woodbridge player down, John.
We do. While the young man's being attended to, I can't get a number. 2 plays in the row that
The
a
snap,
problem with the snap.
right, and highly unusual. Like I said, it is a little muddy down there, but you got to wonder.
Well, it's a big turnover as the ball is recovered by Woodbridge on the East Brunswick 20. They have 2:10 remaining and 1 timeout. The young man from Woodbridge is still down.
And that's a big lineman, whoever he is.
71, Phil, is it? 77 for Woodbridge. And that's James Pisapia. He's up and moving, which is a good sign. And as James walks off the field, you want to hit me again with what the Fear of Friday the 13th is called?
Triskaidekaphobia.
I tell you, we hire only Rhodes Scholars.
and nearly a full moon, too.
And
so
nearly a full moon. All right, Kirk brings him out. 1st and 10 from the East Brunswick 20. There's that counter with Whitner. He's got a big lane to run through. And he goes out at around the 7-yard line.
And Habib, I tell you, played off the blocker. Blocker's out there doing a good job on the B. He slid off that block to make the tackle. But Whitner finding good room and picking up good yardage.
Ball is spotted at the 7-yard line. It's 1st and goal for Woodbridge.
And if you're the Bears, you definitely want to hold. I mean, that's an understatement, but
Kirk gives it to Edmonds, and he is nailed.
Wow, Gerbervac.
He almost took the handoff.
I'll tell you, he nailed him. That's the best hit we've seen today. Whew. Second best, I take that back.
That's right.
Mr. Sanofi would beg to differ with me.
Ball is moved back close to the 8-yard line. So it brings up 2nd and goal. And a timeout. Woodbridge will use their 3rd timeout. And they were, in this case, confused.
And I'll tell you, I made an understand. I said that the Bears would certainly like to hold here. Of course they would like to hold here. My point simply is, John, 14-0 certainly is a big difference from 21-0.
Yeah.
It gives you some hope to come out the second half.
That's right.
Say we never started, we never got out the blocks. Let's just, start all over again and try to get something going. You're down 21-0, it sort of makes it a lot more difficult.
Well, 1:05 showing on the clock as we get near halftime.
And you take a look at Mike Salento. As I said, he's been here 5 years at Woodbridge. Prior to that, he was 3 years at Perth Amboy and 4 years at Metuchen. And he's home here in Woodbridge. Of course, his real home last week, he was a quarterback for Colonia High School. Last week, beat them 35-0. I understand the score was 35-0 at half, and
took it easy on
Took it easy on his alma mater.
All right, it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 9. Woodbridge, 2 receivers to the left as Kirk looks left. Has a man.
Wow.
That's Whitner, and he's going to be in for the score. And East Brunswick player is down hurt. And I don't know who it is, Phil.
Can't pick it up neither. You see Phil Hostler out there right away checking him out. And it appears to be the right ankle. I see a number 2 there, but I can't pick up the rest.
So Woodbridge gets on the board on a pass from Kirk to Whitner.
And as I look in the defensive backfield, I don't see Captain Lucarelli.
That may be who it is, Phil.
I like that.
Obviously, we have a timeout on the field as they attend to the East Brunswick player. We have 56 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. East Brunswick now down 20-0.
And John, you know, while they're taking a look at the young player, we have the Woodbridge program here, and you know, not a bad program, but we seem to take it for granted the quality of the programs that we get at East Brunswick, and we haven't said much about the quarterback club this year, who's done a fine job of supporting the Bears, but also getting out some very fine programs headed up by program director John Kriskowski, and a number of people. I won't go through them all, but the president of the quarterback club is Terry Gomel, vice president is Roy Lorenzo, secretary Connie Lorenzo, and treasurer Bill Machowski, and they do a nice job, and we like to thank them for the assist they give us.
They really do.
And meanwhile, did we get a chance to pick up the player? Okay,
I think it is Marty Lucarello.
Okay.
All right, so Prairie's on for the extra point to make it 21-0. The kick is up and through, and that's where we stand with 56 seconds remaining before halftime. And so that fumble down on the 20-yard line.
It hurt, and we don't want to belabor the point, but the point was simply, again, 21, a little different than 14 at a half. You can come back out and get something going. And the Bears, of course, still can get something going. It's just going to be very difficult because the Barons have been in control all the way.
Well, certainly a run back here would help to lift some of those spirits. As they put Kohlheim back deep, they have Shanafi, Varick, and Phillips as the three up men. Is it me or is Woodbridge always seems slow getting to the ball, breaking out of huddles, getting lined up?
That's your imagination. It's always cold when we come here.
That's true.
So it just seems as if they do things slower. And it's always Parents' Day when we come here. And it's always
morning when we leave here. Here we go, Edmonds, put a foot in it. A low kick, that'll go on the ground over Varick's head.
Ooh.
Off of Kohlheim. He'll pick it up at the 5, and that's where he's going. No further, maybe to the 7. And just when you needed a run back, Phil.
Well, the line driver caught him off guard. I thought the official, I thought Kohlheim's knee actually went down when he went for the ball, and the official looked like he started to blow it, and didn't.
Well, Phil, if you're Marcus Borden, you just want to get out of this half.
Get out of this half and
regroup and see what you can come out with starting in the third quarter. The clock is running. We're down to 35 seconds. Phillips and Varick now in the backfield. I formation for East Brunswick. And Varick, he'll pick up maybe one. And Woodbridge cannot stop the clock at this point. They've used all 3 timeouts this half. And I would think East Brunswick will take all the time they can between plays. Second and 9, and it's almost academic with 5 seconds remaining. And Habib, here's the hook and ladder, Phil.
Ooh.
They showed it, didn't go anywhere.
I might have saved it myself, but
yeah, I don't know if that was the place to do it. But anyway, the first half comes to an end, and the Woodbridge fans are up on their feet as their team leads 21-0. So with it being halftime at Briscoe Stadium, we'll take a break and we'll be back with the start of the third quarter in just a moment. Well, welcome back to the second half of this East Brunswick Woodbridge High School game. Bears trailing 21-0. And Phil, really not much you could take from that first half.
Not much at all. What the Bears have to do, they've gone in at halftime, come back out and said it's a different half. We got to go at it like it's a totally different game. We got to create something on defense, make something happen, create some turnovers, things of that sort. Offense, we got to at least try to sustain a drive in order to get something going. They haven't been able to do that, John. 3 plays in, 3 plays out, and just haven't had much luck offensively. They got to be able to sustain a drive and hope to score.
One thing in their favor is that East Brunswick will receive the second half kickoff. And as you said, hopefully they can get something going and get back into this game. Here we go, Edmonds. Again, a low kick on the ground over the shoulder of Varick and finally picked up by Kohlheim. And Kohlheim, if he can get to the outside, but he brings it up close to the 40, a good run back.
A nice return. And how many times have you seen where you initially stumble and almost fall and then right yourself and pick up good yardage?
East Brunswick will have it 1st and 10. Getting a little cooler up here. As the Bears put out 2 receivers to the left. And Phillips with the carry.
Ooh.
Nice step to the outside. And kind of ran back toward the line of scrimmage and only picked up a couple yards.
Okay, Anthony Severo in on the tackle there, but Phillips showing some good move. Did a lot of running. And as you pointed out, John, just picked up about 2 yards.
That'll bring up 2nd and about, let's say, 8. The ball sitting at the East Brunswick 41-yard line. Varick and Phillips in the backfield with Habib. Ball on the ground once again and a flag. And I think we're going to have a procedural call against Habib pulling out a little soon.
I just don't know what that's all about, John. It appears to be a mix-up between
it is procedure against East Brunswick.
the center and the quarterback. Let's see who's the center there. I think Rouge is still there.
So that'll move East Brunswick back 5 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and about 13.
Yeah, Tom is still there at the center spot. Let's see what's happening there. They have a man over the center.
Habib fakes, rolls to his right, looks, he's got the lane, steps up, gets it off.
Wow, there's
no flag as both players were pushing and shoving.
They're going for it, and the feet got tangled up there, right on the sideline. If you're a Bear coach, you might ask for a little help there, official.
Well, they didn't get it, and it'll bring up 3rd down. 3rd and 13. And they'll move East Brunswick over at the hash mark, and that's where the Bears will take it. Big 3rd down play here, Phil. They need to keep this drive going. They need to keep a drive going as Habib being pressured, throws it low.
Just rushed it. Habib doing a lot of rolling out to avoid the pressure there. And
East Brunswick will have to punt it away. Phil, we're not keeping stats, but that's usually Jimmy's job. But I would say maybe 3 or 4 first downs total for East Brunswick.
If that. And not much yardage, of course.
Varick will punt it away, low kick. And Woodbridge will let it come to a stop, and it will.
And we have a flag, John.
Well, unless it's roughing the kicker, it's really not going to matter much to East Brunswick. It'll only be 5 yards. And it looks like it's against East Brunswick, the way the players are reacting. Hold against Woodbridge.
Okay.
So they'll mark the penalty off. It'll still be 4th down. As as the officials try to get everything straightened out and get the football.
Okay, it is holding 10 yard. Well, I don't know, John.
Well, it may bring up a 4th and short yardage, which may want, which Marcus Board may want to attempt, being down 21-0. The holding brings the ball across the 45 to the 46, so it makes it 4th and about, let's say, 5 yards. And the offense looks to be back out there. Phil, why not?
Got to get something going here.
And they're going to go for it.
Okay, and is this Mansky? You got to hold on to this ball here.
We haven't seen him tonight.
This may be it right here.
Habib rolls right, looks over the middle, forces Mansky,
Wow.
and he's hit hard, and the ball's jarred loose, and it goes over to Woodbridge.
Okay, actually that was McNeil, I believe, over there. That
You're
was
right, Phil,
McNeil instead
McNeil.
of this Mansky, but and you're right, two defenders right there. McNeil able to get his hands on it for a short period of time, but not able to hold on to it.
So Woodbridge will have it with 10:05 remaining in the third quarter.
And not a bad risk at all by the
No.
Bears there. They had to try something, John.
Good field position for Woodbridge, and with that running game, you could bet the house they're going to use it. 2 receivers to the right for Woodbridge. Kirk hands off to Edmonds, and Edmonds picks up 8 yards. Ang making the stop for East Brunswick.
And once again, Scott Hulak, the right tackle, is just doing a yeoman's job over there. He's opening up that hole, and the runner's just about walking through there.
Let's give him 9 yards on the pickup. So let's call it 2nd and 1. The ball sitting at the East Brunswick 36-yard line. 21-0 is our score. Woodbridge, here goes Edmonds left side this time.
Ooh, good tackle.
And a great tackle that time by, is that Shanape?
That's Marty Lucarelli, I believe.
Lucarelli is back out.
Back out there.
And he was the last man between Edmonds and the goal line.
And just a fine tackle. Or
First down on the play. So Woodbridge keeps the drive alive. They have the score and the clock on their side. East Brunswick down 21-0. Ball sitting at the East Brunswick 29-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Barons. I formation. Kirk gives it to Whitner. Whitner off the right side. Still
Ooh.
on his feet. And Whitner, and a late flag comes in as Whitner rambles close to the 20.
and it's a clip against the Barons.
And that'll move him back.
And I'll tell you, some fine running by Whitner. That's a highlight film run right there. Not very far, but just good power running. And Whitner seems to be a little shook up.
Holding his wrist. May have had a helmet hit on there,
And that's smarts.
especially in this weather tonight. So they'll move him back. The ball will be spotted at the East Brunswick 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 20. Woodbridge really dominating every facet of this game tonight. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Edmonds right up the middle, and he just bulls his way back to the original line of scrimmage at the 29.
And the horses up front are doing the job, and the backs are just running through.
That's basically all they need to do, Phil, with a 21-point lead. Certainly keeps the clock moving. We're down to 7:50 left in the third quarter. And just nothing offensively for East Brunswick. They just cannot get going.
They haven't had a chance to get started.
Woodbridge comes out, 2nd and 10. Kirk looks, Looking down the middle, he's got a man.
Ooh.
Just overthrows number 27, that's Stevens.
Chris Stevens had broken free, but as you pointed out, John, Kirk just overthrew him. A fine attempt, however.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 10. And boy, that play's been open all night.
And I think you can expect Salental to come back again for the home run.
Well, he puts out 2 receivers to the left this time. East Brunswick playing a man defense. And Whitner,
Okay.
nowhere to go this time. He's dragged down in the backfield. Good play that time by Szymanski.
Okay, Szymanski doing a good job right there. Stayed home.
So it'll bring up 4th down. And no sign yet as to what Woodbridge will do. Kirk is the punter, so
I'd be surprised if they punt here, John. I really would.
it's 4th and 13. Ball now at the East Brunswick 32-yard line. The clock is moving along. They're going to go for it. Kirk on the play fake, being pressured. Gets it off, a little screen out to the right side to Edmonds. He's got some blockers still on his feet.
Wow. Wow.
What a run, even though he didn't get the first
He didn't
down.
get that first down, but he nearly slid through there. They set up that screen pretty nice. Varick coming in, putting the pressure on. Kirk getting it out to his receiver, and you got to give the Bears some credit for closing down on it as quickly as they did.
And East Brunswick will take over on downs. Ball sitting at their own 24-yard line. And they've had poor field position all night.
All night.
And Dave Habib quarterbacking, drops the ball as he's hit. And Woodbridge, no, East Brunswick recovered. So they made a quarterback switch, Phil.
Trying something different to get something going. I don't think, I don't know if Emil's hurt.
Well,
we didn't pick up on that.
No, I see him standing on the sidelines, and I know he's been playing some defense. So his brother David is out there, number 9 at quarterback. Phillips picks up a couple, but it only brings him back to the original line of scrimmage after the loss on the previous play.
And John Holder in there making a tackle for the Barons.
So a 3rd down, 3rd and 11. And East Brunswick's sitting at its own 25-yard line. And the clock's down to 5 minutes remaining in this quarter.
Okay, we might look for Mike Matthews across the middle here.
Habib, looks, rolls right, puts it up. He's got his man. I can't see who made the catch. That was Varick. And I think he picked up the first down,
right.
Phil. So they keep the drive going.
Okay, and that's a start there. Marcus apparently trying to shake up things, putting the younger Habib in at quarterback. And they did pick up that first down.
Ball sitting at the East Brunswick 37-yard line. 1st and 10. Habib gives to Shanafi, and Shanafi is nailed right at the line of scrimmage. And I think he'll lose a yard.
You got to wonder if Emil injured his hand or something. He took some shots early on, injured his hand, and then they started not connecting on the snap from center. And you got to wonder if that's the reason why his younger brother's in there.
Dave Habib showing some good footwork, goes right up the middle and has the first down as he gets to midfield.
I'll tell you, a little shake and bake right there by Dave Habib, and he's quick, John.
He is.
Quick feet.
We don't know if he can throw all that well. We haven't seen much of the young man at quarterback, but certainly has the foot speed. And he picks up a first down and keeps that drive moving. 3:45 remaining third quarter. East Brunswick trailing 21-0. Habib drops back. Little short pass out to the outside to McNeil. It'll pick up 7. Really, that's all you need to do, Phil.
A little there and a little here. They got something going. This is the most movement that they've had today. And they want to sustain this and score.
Well, certainly the longest and best drive of the night for East Brunswick. They'll say 6 on that pass connection, so it's 2nd and 4. Quick pitch to the right side, Shanafi. He's got the first down and steps out at about the 34-yard line.
And it's all about rhythm, John.
And a late flag, Phil.
Okay. I don't know what that call is, John.
And the referee is admonishing someone on the Woodbridge side. And maybe a break will go East Brunswick's way tonight. It's a dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against Woodbridge.
And John, I was saying about rhythm that, the Bears haven't had the ball long enough to establish any rhythm, and right now they seem to have gotten into a flow here, doing some nice running, some short passes, and mixing it up quite well. And this penalty will help them as well. Wow.
That penalty is going to move the ball to the 17-yard line, where East Brunswick will have its deepest penetration of the evening. And it'll be a 1st and 10. So Dave Habib bringing some spark to this East Brunswick offense when it desperately needed it, trailing 21-0 with 3:30 to go here in the third quarter. Habib gives it inside, Shanafi. Tries to roll for a yard.
I'll tell you, feet taken right out from under him, no place to run.
2nd down. They might as well open it up here.
Might as well go for something. I agree 100%. I see Kohlheim out on the sidelines, however, and I just might want him in every play.
Habib rolls to his right, has some protection, looking, throws over the middle. He's got his man inside the 10-yard line.
And he made the reception, and then the ball was popped out of bounds. And again, the Bears are on the march.
Good catch. I didn't pick up a number.
That's Mike Matthews.
Matthews, number 2.
And Matthews made a super catch against North Brunswick last week, just diving, stretching himself out across the field, and as I said, came up with a super catch.
3rd and about a yard for East Brunswick to pick up the first as the ball spotted at the 9. Habib on a quarterback keeper. And the young man pushes his way down for the first down, 1st and goal at about the 2.
I'll tell you, the never say die Bears just keep on pounding at them, and they look like they're going to come up with something here.
Phil, our program shows Dave Habib at 5'6", 143. This young man showing some strength and courage in there.
Yeah, he's all heart. All heart.
1st and goal for East Brunswick. 2 minutes remaining, third quarter. Barrick dropped in the backfield.
I'll tell you.
Shanafi, rather.
Shanafi dropped again. John Holder again, one of those linebackers blowing through there.
Important to get a score in before the end of this quarter. 2nd and goal. Ball spotted just shy of the 5-yard line. Habib dropping straight back, rolls to his right, under pressure, gets it off, and is it caught incomplete. Intended for McNeil. So brings up 3rd and goal.
Okay, and Marcus wants a timeout to talk about it. He knows he needs a score right here, and wants to make sure that they have everything together and do the right thing.
Yeah, it must be cold. Marcus has a hat on.
Hey, Marcus has been wearing a hat most of the year, John. On a serious note, Marcus has a hat on and has to take care of himself. He's been, since October 30th, he's been having some serious headaches that he can't seem to figure out where they've come from. He's gone through a lot of tests to try to see what the problem is, and just really hasn't been able to find out. But he's had a migraine since October 30th, and I'll tell you, if you've ever had one, you know that's a serious, could be a serious problem. I asked him, was it glasses? He said no, he's had everything checked, and they're still doing some things to check him out.
Well, here we go. 3rd and goal from the 5. Habib rolls, being pressured, gets it off. The ball's knocked up in the air and incomplete. And it brings up a 4th down.
Just a fine defensive effort over there. Bears had a little light at the time, and
well, Phil, in all seriousness, we kid Marcus a lot, both up here in the booth and on the field before games and during practice. He's a good sport about it, and certainly no one can question his dedication
he's one of
to
the
program.
Hardest working coaches there is. There's one of the reasons they came back from 3-0 to 4-3 at this point. No nonsense, and they continued to work. That's all.
4th down now. East Brunswick looking to get in from the 5. Habib again rolls right, plants, throws back to Phillips.
Oh.
And it's off his hands.
I'll tell you, and I talked about that screen, and got to give number 55 some credit there. Nick D'Alessio right there to sort of break it up. Phillips did get his hands on it, but D'Alessio right in the middle of it.
So East Brunswick will be denied after getting down to the 5-yard line. With a minute 15 remaining 3rd quarter, they still are trailing 21-0. And Woodbridge will take it over. And they've got the offense where they can control this ball for a long period of time. And timeout, officials timeout. And we're ready. Kirk gives it to Edmonds. Who else? And he'll get up close to the 10. Pickup of about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 for Woodbridge.
And you got to believe that the Barons want to eat up the clock. They want to get out of here. They want to get out of here without any injuries, John. They're looking forward to the States, and they're certainly hoping they're among that group there, and they just don't want any injuries.
Well, they came in with a record of 5-2. East Brunswick was 4-3. And certainly Woodbridge looking at the playoffs as their goal, at least in the short term. Edmonds again. And they just can't stop Phil as he gets up near the 20. First down.
He's a real workhorse. No doubt about it.
23 on the tackle, 14 on the tackle, 29.
Edmonds is only a junior, Phil, 6'2", 190. And he and Whitner will be back again next year.
Mercy. Quite a tandem here. And they'll be heard from.
10 seconds remaining in the quarter.
It's first down for Woodbridge.
And we'll see if they get it off. No, and they won't. So 3 quarters have been played, and East Brunswick trails 21-0 as we enter the final 12 minutes.
At the end of the third quarter.
And Phil, there's no need for Woodbridge to do anything but just keep that ball on the ground,
Keep
as
the ball
you
on
said.
the ground, eat up some clock.
Don't forget, if you can,
Try to avoid injuries.
dinner dance.
I don't know if you have Woodbridge's schedule in front of you.
Being held November the 21st for Dean Rusco.
Just wondering who
Woodbridge,
they play next.
they play John F. Kennedy on November 25th. But they'll more than likely on the 21st be involved in the States if things break their way, so that that 25th game will probably
Be pushed back.
maybe pushed back, or they may go on and play it. That's 4 days. In the old days, that's the way it was done.
Yeah. Well, the 4th quarter about to start. Not much to say. East Brunswick had their longest and best drive near the end of the 3rd quarter, got down to the 5-yard line, but unfortunately was unable to push it in.
Just not able to get it in, but did get something started, which was encouraging.
And the Barons will come out, 1st and 10. Ball spotted at their own 19-yard line. They started from their own 5. And there's that counter tray with Widner. And Widner gets the first down.
Just fine running, I tell you. And the Bears cannot stop it. He's going, picking up 10 yards there, but about 8 yards a clip easily.
Another first down. They'll move the chains, and the clock will continue to run. Ball at the Woodbridge 30. There goes Edmonds.
Ooh. I'll tell you, the fine tackle
Smart
by
heads-up play by
Kendricks there.
by Halliday. He knew he couldn't make the block without creating a clip, and unfortunately had to let the tackler in on Edmonds. But not before Edmonds picks up about 14 yards. And so another first down for Woodbridge.
And he has picked up some real estate today.
I think they're the two best running combination or running backs that we've seen.
Well, they're too solid. They're not very fancy. They're running off tackle, and they're hard-nosed and picking up good yards. You can't ask for much more. They're not the speediest, not the strongest, but they're solid backs.
Ball's on the ground. Kirk fumbles it, and as luck would have it, it comes right back to him. It's been that kind of night for East Brunswick. 2nd down. Ball just sitting at the Woodbridge 42. Clock running down to 10:15 left in the game. Kirk looks to put it up in the air, throws it outside. He's got his man.
I'll tell you.
And the ball is dropped. They're going to say incomplete pass. He had Stevens, but Stevens couldn't pull it in.
Stevens went up very nicely with hands, and as you pointed out, John, just not able to hold on to it.
So it'll bring up 3rd down and about 12. A very sparse East Brunswick crowd tonight, Phil.
Well, I think the stands are larger over there, so it appears to be sparse. It's about the same, John.
Oh, what a catch.
Nice.
Oh, they're going to say incomplete. What a great attempt there by Halliday, number 20.
Good effort, certainly.
He almost made the play. That'll bring up 4th down for Woodbridge. They'll punt it away. So we're down to the final 10 minutes.
And both Beebs are back there, so apparently the meal is all right. If he had a problem with his hands, he certainly wouldn't be back there to return a punt.
Kirk to do the punting. Gets off a good kick. And goes out of bounds. It'll be spotted at the 36-yard line.
And John, as we watch that punt there, you just can't say enough. Did you get a chance to see Arizona against Washington?
I did, and I was proud to see Josh Miller.
What a job. Josh Miller leading the nation in average for punting, and ended up being the most valuable player of the game. And to knock off the #1 team in the nation and be such an integral part says it all.
Yeah, I'd like to get back to that after this play, as East Brunswick has a 1st and 10. And up the middle goes Varick, I believe. And he's still on his feet. Somehow he breaks out of the pack and picks up 7 yards. Phil, one thing I think many viewers may not know is that it hasn't been all roses for Josh out in Arizona.
That's right.
Went to junior college, had a fairly good career there, was recruited by Arizona. They brought him in, a lot of high expectations. And it really didn't work out for him the first couple years. The young man hung in there, and the result is he's leading the nation in punting. So a fine tribute to Josh and his tenacity and commitment. Varick nowhere to go.
Snowed under. And I tell you, Josh really set himself up for a look at professional ball.
He has at this point, sure.
If you're leading the nation, what else can you say? And if you saw the game, the performance that he put on, I mean, again, such an integral part, pinning Washington deep in their own territory time and time again. And the commentators just were agog.
Well, we certainly tip our hats to Josh for an outstanding effort. It's great to see an East Brunswick alum do well. Habib, he's got McNeil on the right side. McNeil has the first down as he crosses midfield.
And McNeil sort of slapping the air like, get out of here, as he's trying to pick up extra yardage. And he does pick up that first down.
And David Habib, who has replaced his brother at quarterback, has really sparked this offense.
Well, yeah, I've heard of quarterback controversies before, but never in the same family.
Dave is a junior, Emil is a senior, so there won't be much of a controversy. Ball on the ground, and Habib picks it up.
He's quick.
Yeah, he is.
He's quick. I mean, that ball went down there, and
Edmonds, I thought had it.
Edmonds had a clear shot to it, and next thing you know, Habib was in there scooping it up again.
And actually picked up a yard, so it'll be 2nd and 9. Ball at the Woodbridge 48-yard line. Clock running, we're down to 7:40 left in the game. 21-0 is our score, Woodbridge on top. They went in at halftime leading by 21, and nothing has really changed. East Brunswick got down to the 5-yard line on their last possession, but was unable to put it in. And we stand at 21-0 as Habib, being pressured, looking for someone, hits Varick on the sideline. And a rather short gain. No, he's saying he's out of bounds, so it'll bring up 3rd and 9.
I still have the keys that says cars. They're up there if you want them.
That's we heard the announcer describing some keys he has. Very unusual that you describe the keys. You usually you say you have keys and people come up and tell you what what they look like.
Here we go, 3rd down. Habib drops straight back this time. Up the middle, quick feet. Nowhere really to go.
Really.
And it'll bring up 4th down, 4th and about 4. And down 21, you got to go, Phil. You're on the other side of the field.
No doubt about it.
You have nothing to lose.
Number 2 comes in. Matthews.
And if things continue the way they look like they will, Woodbridge will end up 6-2 after tonight's game. East Brunswick will be back at 500 at 4-4. Habib pumps, looks down the right side, lays one up for McNeil, and thrown out of bounds. Not a bad pass, though, Phil.
Not a bad looking pass. Nice spiral and whatnot, but not a good pass.
Well, McNeil was double covered down the right side. And that's just from lack of experience in playing the position. So it'll go over on downs to Woodbridge. East Brunswick taking on Saraville next week. And
Perhaps. If Saraville should win tonight, they will be in the playoffs, and therefore the East Brunswick game would have to be put back.
And my understanding is it'll be the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Something like that.
Anyway, Kirk brings him out 1st and 10. Ball at the 43-yard line. Edmonds falls forward as he crosses the 45.
And you take a look at Edmonds, he's muddied and
he's a John Madden type of
player. You know, he's clearly, it says, I've been in the game. No doubt about it.
High formation. That little counter again. Whitner still on his feet. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. A lot to do about nothing. Clock continues to move here as East Brunswick has been on defense, it seems like almost the entire game.
It's practically. That one long drive that they had where they ate up a substantial amount of clock, but other than that, they've been out there a long time defensively.
3rd down and 8 for Woodbridge. The ball just across their own 45-yard line. And Whitner picking up the 1st down as he moves into East Brunswick territory.
And John, I repeat what I said. We've seen faster backs. We've seen stronger backs. I don't know if we've seen a...
And we have 2 East Brunswick players down after that. Kohlheim is 1.
I don't know if we've seen a pair of backs that have been as solid as these 2 backs. Kohlheim.
And I don't know who the other is, Phil, to tell you the truth. Whitner ran over both of them. Kohlheim is up, at least sitting up.
And the other player down on the ground looks like Paul Dumas. Seems to be holding the shoulder there.
Well, Kohlheim's up. He'll have to go out of the off the field for a play.
Take it back. I'm not sure if it's Dumas. I shouldn't have mentioned the name. And he was holding that left shoulder. That's what they seem to be looking at.
See Phil Hostler down there. And even the trainer from Woodbridge is out. Gentleman on the right. Phil, we think it's number 30 to Neil Meehan.
Okay.
No, sorry, 50.
It is Paul.
Yep, it is Dumas.
And Paul has had a great year. He's played well since they've inserted him in there, and we certainly hope the young player's okay.
He's up and walking off on his own willpower, and so he'll take a rest. And as we get back to action, it'll be 5 minutes remaining in the game. And it'll be 1st down for Woodbridge. The ball sitting at the East Brunswick 40-yard line.
And the Bears have 2 of their starting defenders out right now.
And Woodbridge still going with the 1st team. New pair of running backs in there, though. Number 40 is Schneider with the ball.
Kirk Schneider, one of the mini backs that was used last week against Colonia. I think 5 different players scored last week against Colonia.
Schneider picks up 3. Let's call it 2nd and 7. The ball at the East Brunswick 37-yard line. Schneider again. Runs straight up. The young man will learn to maybe bend over just a bit.
He'll learn.
But it's doing what Mike Sleno wants, and that is eat up the clock. It'll bring up 3rd down as Snyder picks up another 2. We'll say 3rd and 5. Well, Phil, it brings up an interesting scenario come Saraville game. East Brunswick wanting to finish with a winning record and maybe put a little crease in Saraville's balloon this year.
I hear what you're saying. Tough task for the
Yeah, it
Bears,
is tough.
however. Serval is one of the premier teams in this this area here.
Quinones on the carry, number 5.
Can ask Woodbridge, one of the few teams to beat Woodbridge, one of the 2 teams to beat Woodbridge, 14-7 several weeks back. But if you're Woodbridge, you got to be a little giggly and a little pleased. I believe it was 1984 was the last time they were headed for the States. They were in the States against Hunterdon Central. Had some players like Mike Deering, Darren Petchel, and Pat Zaba, just to name a few. And the fans haven't shown a whole lot of excitement, but I imagine they will be tickled pink.
Well, you know,
once they clearly know that they're in. And the Bears, the Barons take a intentional delay of game.
and they make some wholesale substitutions as it'll be 4th down. The penalty will move the ball back to the 40-yard line.
Makes it 4th down and 9.
Well, 84, Phil, is 8 years.
8 years. Coach had to be
Oh boy.
Cabrero, I suppose.
Yeah, I think you're right. Bad snap. Poor kick. And East Brunswick will recover at their own 41-yard line.
Ing actually got a piece of it, I believe.
So East Brunswick will have it with 2:28 remaining in the game. And not much that you can make of this game. East Brunswick was down quickly, 14-0 in the first quarter. Another score made it 21-0 in the second quarter by Woodbridge, and that's basically all the scoring we've had. Not much really to get excited about for either side the second half. Dave Habib at quarterback. He's got his man, Matthews, and he takes a hit there.
Did he ever take a hit? And that's
Scarpa.
John Scarpa, coming up from his defensive back spot and laying one on him.
Hard way to make 3 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 7. Down to 140. Phil, some razzmatazz would be in order. But Habib will roll to his left, being pressured, and stumbles and goes down.
Nowhere to go.
And while we have a few minutes left before the end of this game, we certainly want to thank Phil Sarno here at Woodbridge, who is Mr. Everything, kind of the man behind the scenes, takes care of the field and the press boxes, and very cooperative in helping us get our electrical outlets hooked up and lines run. And so we thank Phil for all his help as we're down to 55 seconds. Habib looking to put it up deep, down the middle for Kohlheim. Kohlheim's tripped, that'll be a flag.
No doubt about it. Kohlheim breaking on the ball, and
a good pass by Habib, Phil.
Baron defender clearly interfered with him.
40 yards in the air. And Habib took a wicked shot when he let go of that ball, but the young man's up on his feet. He's tough.
He's feisty.
Interference against Woodbridge. And a mark it from the line of scrimmage,
10
which
yards, right?
Yeah, which I think is a real disadvantage, particularly in high school ball. I mean, particularly in a situation like this, what amounted to a 40-yard pass play is negated.
Well, depends what side of the ball you're on, I
That's
suppose.
true. That's true. It'll be 1st down regardless, but that's academic with 40 seconds remaining. East Brunswick from their own 35-yard line. And Habib drops the ball. Gets out to Varick. Back to Habib.
Oh, wow.
Razzmatazz here.
Wow. He's got some room. Good block.
He's got some room is right.
Wow.
And a flag. It may be called back as Halliday saves the touchdown and the shutout.
I'll tell you, one good block thrown over there, and then I think a clip on the second block.
It is a clip against East Brunswick, Phil, and it'll bring it back. So the razzmatazz we've been asking for
Marcus,
finally came about.
Marcus talked about that. about that play and had nothing to lose at this juncture and threw it in. It actually created some excitement here.
Well, the flag will negate a rather schoolyard kind of play, but it worked. And Halliday saved the touchdown. But it all comes back, and it's all for naught. And so with 17 seconds remaining, East Brunswick has maybe 2 more plays.
And the Bears would love dearly to come up with something, John.
Oh, they want to get on the board. This is for pride at this point. And I think Marcus would take anything not to hand Mike Salento a shutout.
And
oh, that's going to be procedure against East Brunswick.
it's amazing. They're still dropping that ball.
I don't know.
I don't know what the deal is.
The timing and rhythm is just off. It's been a problem all night. So they'll move East Brunswick back 13 seconds. Well, maybe go back to that hook and ladder, or
Hail Mary.
Barrick in motion. Habib. He's going to look over the middle. He's got Matthews. Matthews is down with 6 seconds. And East Brunswick calls a timeout.
And the Bears are trying to get something. They're not letting it go.
And Marcus will come out on the field. 4 seconds showing on the clock. And the ball sitting at the Woodbridge 45-yard line.
And you take a good look at Marcus Borden there, and he knows it's the last play for his team here, but he's still coaching, and he wants to come up with something. He's going to pull out something. I don't know that it's going to be a trick play. I think he's going to just put that ball down the field here.
Well, here we go. 4 seconds remaining. Whatever trick play you have, you might as well use it. Barrett goes in motion out the other side. Habib.
Ooh.
And Habib's just snowed under, and that'll do it. And so Woodbridge shuts out the Bears, 21-0. A big win for this program. It's not been since 1984 that they have
gone to the
qualified
States
for the state playoffs.
And you see them, they're an excited group out there, and why not? Anytime you can make it to the States just adds excitement to the whole town and for all your fans here. And they played a whale of a game today, used their muscle, and did what they had to do.
As you see the Woodbridge players celebrating, cheerleaders on the field, some parents. Big night for the Woodbridge Barrons, big night for their program. East Brunswick falls to 4-4, Woodbridge improves to 6-2, and again, as we've said, the playoff implications are really at hand for Woodbridge. Phil, not much going for East Brunswick tonight.
Not much going for East Brunswick tonight, but John, neither of us would have believed that they would be at 500 at this juncture, considering the way they started off. Fact of the matter for tonight, they were just overmatched. Woodbridge physically much stronger than the Bears, and they use that physical strength, powering runners off tackle, and they just muscled their way in. They did what they had to do, but the Bears gave it the best shot.
Well, that's about it here at Briscoe Stadium. Our final, once again, Woodbridge 21, East Brunswick 0. So for Phil Hill, I'm John Meggiolaro saying thanks for being with us.